Pallet. There we go. Nate G says, the A's are the fifth most profitable team. My brother, stats are for losers. They spend nothing. Of course they make money. You freaking idiot. I should block you just for that dumbass comment.
Oh, man.
Jesus Christ. Seriously. Like, come on, bro. You think you're watching a guy that was born yesterday? Brother, I've been covering sports for 33 years. I've been following sports for half a century. You're going to come up with some weak-ass line that they're the fourth most profitable team? Of course, when you spend no money, you're going to be profitable.
Revenue sharing.
Yeah, that too. Thank you, Omar. The Marlins make a lot of money too because they don't spend any money, dude.
Yeah.
Yes, come on.
The business of sports.
Yeah. You want to own the A's or you want to own the Yankees? What you want to do?
I want to own the Yankees, of course.
You want to own the A's or you want to own the Dodgers? Well, what do you want to own? What do you want to own?
Yeah, I mean, you know what?
They bring in a lot. You know what I'm saying? So
I think this culture of sports fandom is being fueled by the Twitter gotcha people crowd. The social media. Like you say something and you make a valid point, and they're like, "Gotcha!" Like A's are the second most profitable team in the MLS. I mean, in MLB. Okay, that wasn't the point that I was making, and you could do that all day. I was doing that earlier today on Twitter because I'm finally done with the tight end breakdown because it's one of those deep positions that has
a lot of guys.
There's a lot of guys, but there's no I can't say universal, but there's no like consistency in terms of how people view them or how people rate them. I mean, you could look at some boards and a guy like Sam Laporta will be the number one guy, and then some boards won't even have him in the top 10 guy,
which is ridiculous, by the way.
Yeah, I mean,
he's easily a top 7 for argument's sake. Whatever.
Oh yeah,
you want to put him.
No question
number
about
it. Number 7, whatever. But he's easily one of the best tight ends in this draft.
Some people might not have Luke Musgrave in their top 7, and then some might have him number 1. I mean, it just really depends on whatever. I put it on Twitter, and I do believe this. It comes down to what's your flavor of wings. What do you really, what do you like? And there's so many different types of guys and tight ends to select. Yeah.
No. That's not true. He's got to be able to block.
Yeah, for this offense, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So that there are a couple tight ends that are really good, and they're already out of the mix for this team.
Yeah.
So it kind of cuts it down to the guys that are two-way, because if that's what's up your ass, which is exactly what it is with them, they're clearly they got to have a blocking guy.
You can't be one-dimensional. I've argued this with you for 4 years.
But the problem is, Omar, the same thing I argue back with you is they don't grow on trees. There's only a few of those anyways. So when you can get one, you're blessed. But a lot of teams have guys that are just great tight ends as pass catchers. They're not really great blockers or anything like that.
Not for me. I'm good. I need a guy who can. I would rather you actually come on the field and pretend like you can run block, or not be a liability in pass protection if we need to keep you in the chip.
Of course.
No, it never was going to work for me with Mike Gesicki. I hated that pick from.
But of course, but. Again, doesn't mean you can't use them, because there's lots of tight ends in the league that have careers by being pass catchers because you design the offense.
Yeah, I'm not designing my offense again for a slow slot receiver.
Well, this guy is he's not slow.
No, I'm talking about Mike Gesicki.
He's not slow.
He is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He's a long strider. He takes forever to get into his routes. Same thing with Darnell Washington, who I'm very intrigued by and fascinated by, because with 20 pounds, he could probably be a first-round offensive tackle. Ran a 4.64 in the combine, which is very fast for a tight end. But when you watch his film, slow build up. I mean, and as somebody explained
That's
to me,
most tight ends because they're big. They got long legs. There aren't a
no,
lot of them that are deers, bro.
Mike Mayer's not like that. Kincaid is not like that. Laporta is not like that. Musgrave is not like that. Kraft is not like that. And I'm not saying that I would pick any of those guys over Washington because the more I watch Washington, the more I became intrigued by.
Yeah, but Miami has no shot at Washington.
I don't think he's going to be a first round pick. I don't.
He won't be at 51. That's all I know.
You never know. You never know. I don't, because here's the thing. Tight end is not a priority position for a lot of teams. And also I did the math and there's 7 teams that need tight ends. Yes, a lot of them are picking ahead of Miami, but those teams also have other needs and there are going to be other runs at the positions. Now, do I expect a run on tight end at the second round? Yes. Yeah. If Dolphins don't get one at 51, they might not get one. So,
oh no, there's enough to get to 77. Yeah, there is. There's enough that will. You just answered your own question. Not everybody's going to take the tight ends in the first 2 rounds. So
Dolphins
some of them
84.
Some of them, or 84. Some of them will last in the 3rd round.
Some of them will last, but not the good ones.
Oh, no. Okay. All right.
The ones that you got to develop and wait on, and, maybe Tanner Connor's better than them. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. My guy may not last.
Who's your guy?
What do you think?
I think it might be Kincaid.
No.
Musgrave.
No.
You like Laporta?
I like Laporta. He's my second guy.
Who's your guy?
My first guy. Come on.
Kraft?
Tucker Kraft.
Oh, he'll be there.
That's my guy.
He'll be there.
I love Tucker Kraft. I think he can be a nice 2-way tight end for this team.
All right. Hey.
I don't know if he makes it to 84, but for sure you have to take him at 51 if anything. But yeah,
I'm not taking him at 51.
If he could be there at 84 for you, but I like Tucker Kraft.
The more I study the draft and the more I study positions and the more aware I become of what's going on the 2 weeks heading up to the draft, I really do think 51 is probably going to be an offensive tackle or a defensive tackle. And not only is that where my thought process is, but when you look at the guys who are going to become free agents next year, Sealer, Raekwon Davis, Christian Wilkins, Emmanuel Ogba's probably going to be released if he's not a $15 million.
Oh no, yeah, he's gone after this year.
A year player. Then you got Robert Hunt, you got Connor Williams, you got Austin Jackson. You can't sit here and third day get 300-pound trench players and expect that to replenish your talent roster, your talent on your roster. So I really do believe that it's probably going to have to be an offensive tackle or a defensive tackle at 51.
I think I'm with you. I think it's tackle, not D. I think it's offensive line. I think that's why. And there's actually, if you look at the draft, it's pretty strong at that part for a tackle. They can still get themselves actually a right tackle.
Hold on, right tackle maybe, but
not a left tackle.
But I think you need a guy who can play swing tackle because
that's what it's going to be. The guy will be kind of a swing, but he's probably more of a right than he is a left. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In the end,
I think it'll be very interesting to see what approach they take to this because. I think 51, and I've recently written a column. 51 is you can't touch that pick for me. I'm not trading it down to go get other draft picks. I think with pick 51, as I wrote in the column, you have an opportunity to get a top 50 player in this draft. That will be an elite player in this draft. You can't mess that up, and you can't trade down to go get other players and other pieces and fill out depth on your roster. Nah, this isn't a fill out depth on our roster kind of season. This is we're all in, and to be all in, you got to get a guy who can be an impact player in year one. You can't have a Eric Uzukama and Channing Tindall kind of draft.
Yeah, no, but those are later picks. That's not a second round. That's
yeah. I'm just saying trading down to go get, trade the 2 to 51 to go get a 3 and a 4.
Right.
Don't
and by the way, their track record is really good in the second round. So you kind of want to stay there because they've gotten some pretty good players in the second round.
Chris Greer, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Joan Holland and X, and it was
yes.
Robert Hunt a second rounder or a third
Robert
round?
Hunt was a third rounder, but
Third
yes,
rounder.
they.
Okay.
You know what? You might be right. Hold on one second.
And Gesicki was a second rounder, even though
Because
you don't
I
like
did
him.
mention him,
I
Robert
love
Hunt.
Gesicki. Yeah, yeah. They have a pretty good track record in the second round. So
Yes, Robert Hunt was a second rounder, 39.
I kind of like him to stay with that second round pick. I'm with you. I don't want him to trade, even though I know they love doing that shit to get more
Mhm,
picks and get the fishnet
mhm.
approach. But they're really good at finding players in the second round.
Yeah, but if you trade, like let's say most of their trades that they've done in the second day are to get future second day picks, or when they traded, it's to get to because there was a run at a position like Eichenberg. That's where they make a lot of mistakes when there are runs at positions and players that they want. Leonte Carew, Eichenberg. That's generally where they reach and cost themselves, but. I think that they have a very good chance to get a upper echelon starting caliber player. I hate to say, Xavier Howard, because you could easily end up with a Cordrea Tankersley, but a player who can give you a chance to start and be an impactful player in year one, if not year two. And to me, it's all about these next 2 years, you making a run at a Super Bowl.
Will the Dolphins have a number 3 wide receiver, and who will it be? Or because of your number 1 and number 2, will the number 3 wide receiver on the Miami Dolphins be a situational person? You might use Braxton Berrios for one situation. You might use your draft pick from last year, Azukama, for another.
Mm-hmm.
You might use Cedric Wilson for something else. You might use
Mm-hmm.
Robert Craycraft. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering, because if we look at that,
Durham Smythe, just going to ignore Durham Smythe.
no, but that's the tight end. I'm talking about like the
Oh,
third wide
receiver.
receiver on this team.
Yeah.
Is it will there really be a third wide receiver, Omar, or will it be a situational third wide receiver?
I think
How
there
do you
will
see
be
that?
a third wide receiver. I think it's Braxton Berrios. And the reason I think it's Braxton Berrios is because of the run after catch yards he can produce. I believe statistically, I don't know the exact number, but half of his stats on offense in the league are run after catch yards. The way that Waddle and Tyreek can clear out the field, if you put Braxton underneath to give you that run after catch, I think it really adds a dynamic element to the offense. I'm also a big fan of Braxton because he has the savviness to find zones, read zones, find open zones in coverages, where that I think has been missing in this offense since Jarvis Landry.
Actually, yeah, Tua's actually he has one of the worst receiving cores for Yak, and you
Mm.
would not even think that normally.
Yeah. So I really do think that adding a player who's adept at finding those open zones puts them in a great advantage offensively. But based on who left, which is Gesicki and not River Craig,
No, the other guy
um,
left,
Trent Sherfield,
Sherfield.
those guys used up 100 targets. And somebody said this to me on Twitter yesterday, and I thought about it because I'm a big proponent of running the ball, as you've known since you've known me for 10 years. And I think that they need to run the ball more. Even, Mike McDaniel says, hey, we need to run the ball more. An idiot would know they need to run the ball more.
Yeah, but that was huge. That was huge.
Yeah,
You run
I
into
mean,
a lot of these stinking coaches that are so stubborn and like, oh no, we did it right, we did it right. And I'm glad he acknowledged that he screwed up and he had to stick to the run game a little bit more. But I'm with you that there's no doubt they need to
so
run more. Now remember one more thing to that equation that you just
mhm.
said. Tua missed 5 games.
Yep.
Passing went down in those. In fact, Waddle and Hill did not have a touchdown with the other quarterbacks. So those kind of things changed in those 5 games. So if he stays on the field,
Third down conversions too. Yep.
yeah, and then those other guys will have more targets. It'll be more than 100 targets because those other guys will also get more targets because you have a better passer in the game at that moment too. So those 5 games also will alter the stats a little bit.
Yeah, but if you extrapolate 100 targets, 100 attempts, That's 5.8 carries more per game. I mean, we could split that in half, and we can just say three more carries per game. I think that's a great addition, great balance. I would really love to see them be able to run with power. Now,
Amen.
will that happen? Who knows? I think a lot of that is dependent on the offensive line and guys staying healthy.
The
And
scary part is the passing games becomes much better.
yeah, no, people forget that. People forget. I get beaten down so much by these new age football fans, everybody who doesn't believe in the running game and running the football. And you know, they're passing is the way. Okay, you know what? A running game makes your passing game better. A running
Way
game
better. Way better.
balances out your offense and gives the defense an extra breather, makes your defense better. You don't
You
understand
remember what San Francisco and the Chargers did by flooding the middle of the zone in the passing game? Well, you can't flood the middle of the zone if you're running because now the linebackers have to come up, and now one of your safeties has to worry about the run game. So all of a sudden, the middle of the field starts to get back open again. That's the reason why the Titans' passing game works so well because Derrick Henry scares the shit out of you. He sucks up the linebackers, and the middle of the field is open. So you can run crossing routes, and Tannehill can hit them with no problem. And that's exactly what happened. If you don't dedicate to the run, then they don't respect it. Now they can get on their heels. They can drop back and flood the zone and cause problems for you. So if
Yeah.
you run, you suck those guys in and you open up the middle of the field.
Yeah. Speaking of Derrick Henry, I'm a big proponent of Derrick Henry coming here. The question is, what would you give up for him outside of the new contract?
I'm not giving him a new contract. I'm not gonna.
Well,
He's approaching now 30 years old. That's a dumb move at this point.
Okay.
Start doing that. I get what you're saying. It's super sexy.
You're gonna have to give him a new contract.
You know what, Omar? There's one thing that I do like about your suggestion. Because if you do get Derrick Henry and your offensive line and your D line are actually playing well, you're really a Super Bowl contender. So if you win a Super Bowl in the next year or two, who gives a crap about years 3 and 4, which you have to pay Henry, or if he gets old and broken down at that point?
You're only going to have to guarantee him this year, next year. So
right. You do get your title, so it's not a bad thing. The only thing is they're going to want at least a first rounder.
No, hell no, they're not going to be able to get a first round. Nobody's giving up a first. Nobody's using a first rounder for a back. Nobody's giving up a first rounder for a back.
That's probably what they're going to ask for.
No, they can't ask for that. I think asking for a second rounder is reasonable. I'm not giving 51 to them. That's not on the table, but I would offer up 84 if 84, and I could
think somebody will offer more than that, bro.
Oh, if you think maybe a contender, maybe Buffalo.
They certainly need a running game. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You know what? Where I freaked out.
He's a finishing piece.
You know that he's been shitty as a pass catcher all his career.
Mm-hmm.
Did you look at him last year?
I've seen Derrick Henry. I don't know if I've looked at him last year.
Go look at it.
Okay.
They actually threw him the ball last year.
Okay.
Like he actually cut. Like look up the stats and look at all his years pass catching, which were like nothing. Like normal. Like what you like. Yeah, no, they don't throw to Derrick Henry much. Now go look at last year, and you're like, holy shit. He actually did a pretty good job pass catching.
Yeah, I don't know if that's his strength, but yeah, I could see.
I didn't say it's his strength.
33 receptions, okay, yeah.
But Omar, does he have 33 receptions the entire career after that?
Yes, he's averaged 18 to 19 catches per game.
Yeah, he doesn't really catch a lot of balls. And last year, he had a good clip per catch. I think he scored a few touchdowns too. And I was like, wow. So I wonder how much of that was him trying to, hey, man, throw me the ball more because he's approaching free agency and he wanted to kind of showcase himself a little bit more. But that's one of the things that stood out to me about Derrick Henry last year that I was like, damn, they threw him the ball a little bit more.
I think I'm looking it up now, but I think that would probably be a byproduct of him not having a good quarterback and quarterback there.
Yeah.
No, actually, he was catching passes from early in the season, so I take that back.
Okay.
So, yeah, he caught 2 to 3 passes in most games. Interesting.
I know. It's something that a lot of people don't talk about and give him credit because we don't look at him as a pass catcher. And we don't even think that he's very effective in that. You know what I mean? But last
Yeah.
year, he was actually pretty serviceable to complement, obviously, the beast that he is as running. Although his running numbers went down last year, too. So I think it went down a whole yard per attempt, I want to say. Right?
4.41. I'll tell you in a second. No, 4.4 last year. The year before that, he was 4.3. Oh God, he's averaging 4.8. So, I mean, it's in there. I mean, the years that he was balling, he was averaging 5.1,
Right,
5.4,
right,
4.9. So,
right.
yeah.
He's a freak.
The one thing I like about I'm a big proponent of Derrick Henry, even though I know you don't have much tread left on those tires. You can make a good 2-year run. He in my mind completes this team, completes this offense, makes everybody better, makes Austin Jackson, Liam Eichenberg better, makes Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle better, definitely makes Tua better. The question is, I could wait on it too, because I could wait till the trade deadline, because I'm pretty sure if they don't move him during the draft,
that's interesting.
They probably now. I expect him to be moved during the draft? Yes, I do. I think some team will look at him and say, "Do we want Derrick Henry? We don't want the reach of a."
By the way, Buffalo can't because of the cap issues that they have.
You know how I feel about the cap.
I know that, but they're strapped.
So are the Dolphins. They'd have to restructure.
The Dolphins can move some stuff around, and they're going to get money now in June. They're going to
Buffalo can always move stuff around, bro. Buffalo. For Derrick Henry, I'm pretty sure Josh Allen would sign and get a bonus and a roster bonus and
Dude, they don't sound like they're into like moving around and like mortgaging the future.
Bro, they are in the same financial space that the Dolphins are.
But they let players go. They're not as good as they were last year already as it is. So that's the thing, Omar. It's like if you look at their MO right now, they're not spending more. They're actually cutting back right now. And the GM has come out and has said it, like he's kind of like prepped his fan base, like, hey, it's not as easy for us to build right now and all that kind of stuff. So he's kind of talked a little financial scared. So I don't know if
they still got a 2-year window. They still got a 2-year window, and you can easily restructure Josh Allen's deal, even though I don't see much.
You know that window closed already, right? You know Tua closed that window already.
Holy crap. Josh Allen has already restructured his deal. They can't get anything out of him this year. So cancel that. So
I'm trying to tell you, bro. I'm trying to tell you, they don't have a lot of flexibility.
Actually, I think they did the same thing. Stephon Diggs, they can't restructure that. Tre'Davious White,
they're strapped, bro. They're strapped. They're not getting Derrick Henry. That I can tell you. I can guarantee you, they're not the ones getting Derrick Henry.
Maybe you never know. You know how I feel about the salary cap. It ain't real.
You're not picking up what I'm saying. The Pagulas are not Stephen Ross,
bro.
They're not Vinny Viola. They're not Jorge Mas.
They got 10 million.
They have the money, but I don't think they're fanatical like Stephen Ross is, that he'll mortgage the future and he doesn't give a shit.
If you're Buffalo, you got to see that your window is closing. You got to do what you got to do.
So obviously you're not listening to the general manager talk scared like he does about the money.
I mean,
you have not listened to Bean talk about how he warned his fans about this offseason that they will not have the same flexibility. He kind of prepped them that this is not the kind of offseason. I'm trying to tell you this, bro, because I follow all this shit.
Yeah, and so I see based on I'm looking at deals. They can extend Ed Oliver. No, they probably won't extend Ed Oliver. There's always ways, Big O, to create the flexibility you need to make a move.
Yes, sir. You are correct. If you're the owner of the Rams, if you're Stephen Ross, if you're a maniacal owner that will do it, I don't believe the Bills owners are that. That's my point.
They're just not that cheap, man. They
just
can't
like
be.
Mike Brown, just like the Dean Spanos.
Mike Brown is making a run at it too. He's in a 2-year window.
He spent last year. Now he's not spending as much this year. They're trying to trade their wide receivers because they only want to keep one of the three guys. Okay, you see the Dolphins? They have two guys. No.
Yeah, for
They're only
now.
trying to keep one
For
of their guys.
now. They got 2
Okay?
for now.
They're trying to move Higgins in a trade, and Boyd is
Damn.
gone. Come
Joe
on, bro.
Mixon making a lot of money.
Yeah, and he's gone too.
19, 17. They got $17 million in cap space. Cincinnati can make whatever they need to make work.
Yeah.
But they have to do Joe Burrow's deal.
Exactly. They have to do Joe Burrow's deal, and they still have to do Chase's deal too. Okay, they're not going to spend, but
Chase is not this year.
That's the following year. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. It's back-to-back years of monster contracts, and
Bro.
they can't pay T. Higgins, and that's going to be, if they allow him to walk, that's stupid. You have to trade T. Higgins because people will give up multiple picks, like a first and a second rounder.
I don't know
easily.
why.
What do you mean? Why?
I'm not. I'm good.
You're not a T. Higgins guy?
No, not really. He's not Jamar Chase.
He's a number one. He's a number one, dude. He's just playing next to another number one, and maybe you don't watch it enough, but T. Higgins is a badass, bro. He's going to get paid 20 million a year when he gets to free agency. Bet your ass on that. And there'll be a bunch of teams lined up to sign T. Higgins.
Bro.
So they're going to, but my point is, there are certain owners in the league that will not go to the extremes you're talking about that you can do. And I don't believe the Bills are one of those. That's my point. That's my point. I believe they're in the Mike Brown, Dean Spanos area that they'll spend, but they're not going to go crazy and all that. So, have fun, Justin Herbert. You're not going to get everything you need. Not with that guy.
So you're according to you, the window for the Buffalo Bills and Cincinnati Bengals are closing.
No, I didn't say the Bengals. I just told you the Bills.
But you said they won't spend. You get rid of
no. I know they won't spend, but what I'm saying is, in this division, the window closed for the Bills already. The Dolphins. It's the Dolphins division from here on out, bro.
You really.
That's it. It's over.
I need to drug test you.
It's over. It's over.
How can it be? You still have Josh Allen. You still have Von Miller.
Bro, Josh Allen should have lost to Skylar Thompson.
Oh, my God. Let's not do this.
If the coach didn't have a rookie brain fart on the sidelines with 4th and 1, the Dolphins are winning, and he's, what they have Josh Allen. What has he won? Okay.
Gotten his team deep in the playoffs all but 1 year.
Once,
That's
right?
pretty good.
Once, right? Deep in the playoffs or twice? Did you get once?
I mean, twice. See, last year was deep. Last
year was second round.
Bro, that's deep. That's deep.
Bro, okay. If Tua gets eliminated in the second round, you're writing an article on SI that it wasn't good enough. What are you talking about, bro?
If Tua gets a win,
not only you, your partner in crime, Poopar, would have him traded if he only gets to the second round.
Listen, if Tua gets a win, that will be the first since 2000 in franchise history. That to me is the bar. It should be celebrated.
So you're impressed that Josh Allen went one more round than Skylar Thompson?
Oh, wow. Don't do that because it's not fair, and I don't want to throw shade on Skylar Thompson's name.
Really? You're impressed that Josh Allen went one more round than Skylar Thompson.
Bro, Josh Allen was a quarterback behind the greatest game I've ever seen in football.
That and a cup of coffee gets you what? Drew Bledsoe played the greatest game I've ever seen in college football history in the snow for Washington State. Dude, that was a
great quarterback.
Performance.
He was a great NFL quarterback.
Okay. Did I say Drew Bledsoe? I'm sorry, Ryan Leaf.
Oh, Ryan Leaf.
Ryan Leaf at Washington State played one of the greatest games I've ever seen in the snow, like for 400 yards or whatever. What does that mean? You know what I'm saying? So
he's a pretty good analyst.
Josh Allen, one extra round than Skylar Thompson.
Bro, this Josh Allen hate you got is
got to stop.
It's got to stop. And I love Tua. I respect Tua, but he ain't Josh Allen yet.
You're going to really respect Tua this year when he spanks Josh Allen twice and sends him home. Okay? You're going to really respect him.
Listen.
All right?
If that happens, it's a new day. But the Bills, last I checked, they're 4-time reigning AFC East champions. They're the new Debo in the division. And until they get dethroned, that's who owns the division, correct?
Yeah, for now, whatever. I mean, they can enjoy whatever they want. They haven't gotten anything. This year, they'll watch the Dolphins win the division and then win the Super Bowl. And then what?
I mean,
Then what?
that's a new day. Congratulations. I mean,
That's right.
when we get to it, hey, everybody will be happier. But
Third Lombardi trophy coming to Miami Gardens, baby. It's coming.
2023, you say? Interesting.
24 we'll win it
24,
there.
yeah.
I'll be in Vegas. I don't know about you, but I'm going to be in Vegas celebrating a Dolphin Super Bowl. I don't know about you, but I'll be there for sure. I got to get my Airbnb already for that. Got to get a nice house for it for the week.
Okay,
What do you think?
you go right ahead.
Yeah, I invite you over, bro. We're going to have some parties. We're going to have some Super Bowl parties that week. I'm at my crib in Vegas.
Hey,
Right?
we'll do some live broadcasts.
All right, what do you got going on SI outside of the chats you got going on with Poopart?
Yeah, right now I'm working on based on what I wrote, which is that the Dolphins shouldn't trade 51. Great opportunity to get a top 50 player, but I do think that you should have a short list of guys that you absolutely won't move if they're there, and I'm trying to create that short list of offensive linemen, tackles, even wide receiver. I'm debating whether I should put Hawker in on that list, even though I don't think he'll be there at 51. But there's a chance he could be there at 51. But I really don't think that they have the opportunity to use a resource like that on a quarterback, even though I think he's probably going to be the best quarterback in this draft.
All right, Miami Sports Fanatic wants me to ask you about Christian Wilkins' scenario. Thoughts on Wilkins getting extended or traded? That trade. Don't be ridiculous. What do you think about the
I would consider trading him, depending on what's offered.
Well, I know you would consider because you were wrong about him for many years, and now that he's actually balling, so now you want to trade.
I'm not extending him because, as I was told, you need to see how he works and fits into the Fangio scheme, because Fangio asks and requires their defensive linemen to do different things than what Christian Wilkins has done throughout his career.
What, tackle? I'm sorry. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Tackle for losses, sacks, pressures. I'm sorry. What is he going to ask him to make an omelet or something? Is he not a cook or something? I think Christian Wilkins does anything and everything you need.
From what I'm being told, Fangio wants his defensive linemen to be more head up and more on the guard, more. And that's not Christian Wilkins' game. And in fact, he's more of a slant guy. He's more of a movement guy. They want you to beat your man one-on-one and get after the quarterback. That's what they require of the defensive lineman. The only one that really has proven he can do that over time is Emmanuel Ogbah in terms of the defensive lineman. So we'll see how everybody fits. I don't know. I need to see it before I can actually.
Raekwon Davis. You're describing a guy that could struggle in this defense.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
Christian Wilkins? No.
Yeah, and that's when it was told to me, I was thinking to myself, like, Christian Wilkins proven that he's pretty versatile. Even his career at Clemson, he did everything on every spot. I have a hard time thinking that he won't transcend to be a pretty good fit in this scheme. However, I will say this. I'm not extending him, even though I think it would be a great way to create some salary cap space. Christian Wilkins probably going to demand $15 million a year, and I'm not paying.
Easily worth it.
I'm not paying Christian Wilkins $15 million a year.
Oh my God, he is one of the most important players on this team.
When you play somebody $15 million a year, you're saying that you are an impact player on this team, on this defense,
and
he's a good player. I'm not sure he's an impact player.
Oh my God, he's a super impact player. Are you kidding me? He does everything on that field, bro. I love that guy. No way, man. And I completely disagree on that. Christian Wilkins is a franchise player, bro. He's a freaking badass, and all he's done is get better and better every single season, dude.
He has.
I can't wait to see what he adds this year.
It is very interesting to see. You're taking a risk by not extending him, but I'm not paying him $15 million a year. I'm just not.
I think they are extending him. I just think they're waiting for the Byron Jones money in June.
We'll see.
I think that's what's happening. All right, Omar, tell him follow you on Twitter at Omar Kelly and catch his work there at Sports Illustrated and catch the podcast also with Alan Poupar as they go back and forth. Also very entertaining. Oh,
Yes, all
my
Dolphins
brother.
podcasts. I appreciate you, Big O.
You got it, baby. You be good. There you go. And Essential Moving Experts, they work all over the country, man. You want to move within the city, within a county, from state to state, across the country. They are headquartered in Daytona, but they take care of the entire country. One of our listeners just moved from Michigan down to Texas. Essential Moving Experts move them down. So call them 386-213-4054. Call Sean Williams. Tell him that Big O sent you. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.